It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for my gamers. Would you be one? Could you be one? Out of that thunder, but don't despair. This colony's breeding great robbers. Would you be one? Could you be one? If the 80% mortality rate works for you, for a few bucks a month you can sign up and have the hogs kill you. So let's make the most of another Sunday. Brew up some coffee and play it my way. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my gamers? Won't you please, please won't you be my gamers?
Hey everybody, welcome to Mr. Hobbs's Gamerhood. I'm trying to see if my mic is actually, oh, it is working. Fantastic. I am your host, Jason Hobbs, and today we are going to play Tales of Argosa, second edition of Steve Grodzicki's Pickpocket Press Low Fantasy Gaming. You can see mine is pretty beat up. I've had a bunch of hardcovers over the years, but I usually give them away at conventions. So yeah, I don't have a hardcover right now. But anyway, why would I want one? Because we're going to have a new second edition pretty soon anyway. The draft that I have printed off here is from 723. I think the most current one is even more newer than that. So 1023 was the last one I saw, but I heard there's one before that. It's been since 1025 since we've been here. So why don't I bring in the most important thing? Because like I always say, you can't have a game without players. So we might have a new guy here. We'll make him go last. We didn't even tell him the rules about the black t-shirt. So why don't you guys introduce yourself and then and your character, and then maybe we'll get into a recap maybe of what's been going on. Go ahead and start it up, Stu.
So Stu here, I am playing Vorcil, a Dissian magic user. He was a rat catcher by trade, but apparently stumbled across some sort of arcane knowledge underground somewhere and then left his homeland because magic is taboo amongst his culture. And that led him in the service of the Lord that sent us out on the quest we're on now with these guys.
It's actually taboo in almost every culture of the Midlands, but the Nidisians specifically have the Licentum something or other that seek out magic and eradicate it. So almost like witch hunter types or something, except from the governing country. All right, cool. I was going to say also one thing before we went on to the next character. In Tales of Argosa, which isn't the same as Low Fantasy Gaming, actually the background where you say you were a rat catcher, it actually has mechanical benefit as well compared to just like being, you know, like a background, right? Because I think it gives you an attribute, and it also kind of helps define what
yeah, it gives you a skill.
A skill, yeah, and like an attribute point or something for an attribute,
Yeah.
I think. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
Plus
that's
one
kind of
dex.
interesting.
Proficient in, so rat catcher, for example, is +1 dex, proficient in stealth, and I have a cheese wedge that I have not made strategic use of yet, but I shall.
Well, my question is like, I mean, why have you just eaten it by now?
Well, currently I don't have a mouth, but
Oh, that's true. But
we'll get back to
hasn't
that, I
always
guess.
been that way. All right, Robert, you're up, buddy. Are you muted?
If it's hard cheese, you could use it as a projectile. So,
Oh, it's so much better than a rock.
yeah,
Or you could wedge it under a door.
yeah, something like that. Is it hard or soft cheese? Stu?
I'm gonna go with hard. I guess it would last longer. You know, I feel like it would rot or mold fast if it was.
Yeah,
soft.
right. Hard cheese. That's what it needs to be. Well, hey everybody, I'm Robert. I'll show you the cover. Hobbs didn't do that, right? I can pull this back up. Look, if you can see that, it's gonna be hard to see because it's on an iPad. But
That's
there
the
we go
new
when it comes
cover,
in.
yeah.
That's the new cover.
I don't even know if
Looks
it's going
cool.
to stay that way, though, actually. But
Yeah, but that's pretty cool. It
it's
looks
very
nice.
Yeah, it's a good cover.
I really like black and white, and then the one color of red. So since he watches these, my thumbs up for that design. All right. I'm playing Vicente, who is a bard from Dol Carrock. Background as a beekeeper. My version of the cheese wedge is, what is it that I have? I have bees, don't I? I have a jar of bees. I haven't used those really in anything else, but I guess they're my good luck charm. I think that's probably what I would think of it as.
Hey, little bees. You just pet the jar on the outside or I don't know where you keep it. All right.
Yeah, I think it's just in moments of danger and anxiety, maybe I sort of clutch onto it a little bit, and I can feel them buzzing around in that jar, and that kind of gives me some solace.
Nice.
Or maybe it's just, I don't know.
We'll wrap it in somehow.
card.
It's still early, guys. It's
I
still
know.
early. All right. Last but not least is the new guy for this game, but not new to the gamerhood. What's going on, Peter?
How are you guys? So I'm Peter. Tonight I'm playing Reinhard. He's an Argosan and a former hangman. So yeah,
That's nice.
State-sponsored violence, I guess.
Right. We got
That's my trade.
state-sponsored. He's escaping. Norsel's escaping from state-sponsored stuff, and you're maybe you are too. I guess
Well,
I don't really know.
Yeah, I kind of am in a different way. So yeah, that's Reinhard, and he's got, as you can imagine, a piece of rope. 30 feet of rope.
That's terrible. That is terrible. All right. So I think what we should do now, we're all kind of, I feel like this is the first stream I've ever done, to be honest, guys, because it feels like it's been such a long time. Why don't we go over a quick recap so far? This is session 4, I think maybe 5 if we include the character generation session, or some would say charge in. Robert, do you want to do it, or Stu, do you want to? Who wants to go? You guys can fight over it.
What do you think, Robert?
I was going through my notes. I found session 0, but that's probably not anything for us to talk about. So I found session 1. That was back in August, the end of August, where we played it. So we were hired, right? We're on a ship. Is the ship called the Alderaan Summit? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And we were hired to go check out an iron mine in the Brinderwold. I can't remember if that's where the affliction is, right? There's some sort of affliction that has affected the miners there. And we were given a silver flask to collect the font of healing. And I guess were we told about Wisp Isle, which is now called Wraith Isle? That's where we are currently, right?
Yep. It has a few names, as all great locations do.
Right, and we knew about the cult. We'd heard about that, but we were given the silver flask to collect the font of healing to bring with us to the iron mine. And when we got there, let's see what happened first. We were attacked by the sea vultures. So there's some intense fighting that took place there. Defeated them. And then session 2, we found a cave that was revealed when the tide had subsided. And then there's a bunch of exploration we did in this cavern. We ended up saving somebody, and I'm trying to find where that is. Elsa. And we brought her back to the ship. And then after doing all of that, I think then we get to session 3. And in session 3, we went up onto the top part of the island, and we're exploring where this stone was just off the side of the pathway, and ended up seeing some person who'd been sort of hiding out right there, and then sort of ducked into underneath this boat that we moved, and found out that there was a tunnel. And then, oh yeah, and then I forgot about that. Then we explored in that little tunnel. We found a bunch of sickly people in there. Learned some stuff about what was going on the island a little bit. This was from a former crew that had been attacked by the sea vultures, hadn't they? And they had also become basically stuck on the island and come down with this sickness. So we left them, we went up the pathway, and then off a side path. This is where we ended up coming across some men, one of them summoning some skeletons. There's some type of necromancy. It was a pretty intense fight. Our companion, Johan, ended up dying in this fight, and I think I was badly injured, if I remember correctly. And then we ended right at the entrance to this cave, this natural cave that had like some type of doorway in front of it, this stone door.
I feel like you guys actually opened the stone door. Stu, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, we did. I have it in my notes. We moved it away.
See, that was pretty good as far as like what practically took place. Maybe a couple other things that we know about the island was there was some sort of cult that inhabited the island 100 plus years ago, and they died off. People claim that the island is haunted, and then I feel like there was some more, and I'm fuzzy here too. I was going back through my notes. The people that were sick in the cave that we discovered last session, they were part of another expedition on the island, but they claimed like the people they came out with like turned on them, or they basically were betrayed from them. Hobbs, can you keep me honest there?
Yeah. So they were a group of supplicants that were all had some sort of infirmaries and were coming to the island to be healed by the magical font. But they couldn't get into the temple because it was locked. Their leader was a woman named Iggett. And since there's very few ways to get food or anything on the island, Iggett led a group of the other priests away from the group that you found, and they've been preying on the weaker group through cannibalism, apparently, and whatever, to survive. So and one of the guys, the human that you fought, was like this part of this Iggett's group. Does that sound right? Make sense?
Yep, and we believe the people we fought at the entrance were also part of that group.
You think they were part of the group. That's the first experience you've had of them. Though you did learn about them from the infirm or the passive priests that were in the Dory cave. The Dory is a type of ship. The reason that the fight was kind of so difficult. Oh, there were 3 of them, but one of them climbed up and escaped, right? Remember that? And then you guys fought all the skeletons, and some of them kept reappearing or coming back or pulling out of the weeds, because all over the island there's skeletons and the remnants of these cultists and apparently other people who have come to get into the temple.
You think one of these guys got out? I thought we prevented that with an exploit or something.
Oh, maybe you did. Okay, I'm fine with that. Oh, I think maybe you did. Maybe that makes sense. Yep, because he's over here. That's this one who was going to escape. I think you did stop that. There were 3 of them, so that makes sense to me. All right, so Johan's dead. These 3 cultists and 3 restless dead. And now you have the opening there before you. a little confused on one thing about this. You can see, everyone can see, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, now I know why. It's probably because I was trying to figure out why it's making that weird shape there where the shadows, but it must be who's in control of I don't know why it's there, because it's not part of the lighting. Interesting. Okay. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, and I guess I'll just add one last thing, just as a reminder, that we also tried to get benefits of rest, which did not work out for us. And kind of thinking that as the evil of the area kind of kept us from getting any sort of benefit of resting a little bit.
Yeah, you're talking about the short rest, right? I think you guys tried it, which includes like
Right.
having to make willpower checks, and you did not succeed.
Right.
And one thing that we didn't mention is Stu said he couldn't speak right now because he actually, Norcil does not have a mouth because of a DDM, dark and dangerous magic that went wrong.
Yeah. I feel like it was at least we had a couple more hours.
Okay. All right.
Goes away.
Sorry. Okay. All right. So I think you guys have rolled this stone door away, and you could tell that it's looked like these priests and stuff had been trying to do it, but in their weakened and infirm state, they had been unable to get the door. I don't remember, there were scratches and areas that they had tried to do stuff, but you guys, hale and hearty, and with Johann's, well, maybe Johann was dead. I don't know. You found a fulcrum, or you were smarter than them. For whatever reason, you guys opened up this this stone door, and you had found an area beyond. And maybe I will look at the tomb cave key. Where is the tomb cave key? Anybody know? I was going to read this maybe to you. That might help to set the scene a little bit. But for the moment, Monastery Cave, Tomb Cave Area 7, Scope Caves. All right, this is a little weird. I'm having trouble finding the area that I'm looking for. I'm actually unusually using a sort of published adventure that was put together by Randy M. So the art of the maps and the art of like some of the creatures and stuff that I've been using are his proprietary. I don't know, his intellectual property is what I'm trying to say. The tokens for the characters, other than Reinhard's, the new character are by James Richards, and used with absolute permission for the stream.
Right, he did an awesome job with those.
Yeah, they're super sweet. I agree. This is so weird. Doesn't even have anything on here. I don't know why I can't find this. I know that I've read this before, but it's like missing. I guess I'll just have to make it up. So you open up a stone door, and there is a small chamber beyond. It looks like a bit of it stretches off to the right and curls over to the left as well. Like I say, I can't really figure out why that's there. There is some sunlight that's peeking in. I also thought, wasn't it getting towards dusk or not yet? Not yet, probably. If you still haven't lost your thing yet.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I was just being safe. I think like, I don't know, an hour or two, but I can't say for sure.
All right.
Is Reinhard with us? Because been here the whole time.
No.
He's not with us.
No.
Okay.
Anything strike us immediately on having that door open? Like any smells that's sort of...
When you opened it, like you could tell that it had not been opened for a very long time. As new and fresh air crept in, it swept up some dust and detritus on the floor, and you can see, much like the rest of the island, bits of bone and the loamy smell of an unopened, dead air cavern.
And then it should be clear to us there's been no traffic through this anytime recently.
Correct.
And it is dark, right?
Yeah. There is some light that's shining in from behind you because, you are on like this island just kind of is longer than it is wide, but it kind of goes right up to the peak where the temple that you've been trying to get to is.
I think Johan had the torches, so I'll grab one from him.
Alrighty.
And I don't know, Robert, unless you got anything else, let's jump in.
Yeah, there's only one way, and that's forward.
All right, nice. So there is like that piece that's staying black, and I don't really know why that is. I'm going to add a light onto you here, Stu. Oops. All right, there, that fixed it. So when Norcil steps in, is Vicente at his side, I'm assuming? You can see the tunnel is close to about 10 feet wide, very rough. There's like detritus, and you can see bones, obviously human. And maybe like some small insect carapaces and such. About 15, just near the edge of your bright light, you can see that there is a stairwell there that goes down a few steps, and then right at the bottom of those stairs you see a form laying on the ground.
It's not bone.
That's not bone. They're dressed in rags, and they're fairly skinny and waifish. When your light crosses over top of them, it immediately, almost as if lighting the way in a dark tunnel, Reinhard, you become aware of your surroundings, which aren't the same as the ones that you last remembered seeing. Remember, you were in darkness with your companions, and the whispers that you often were plagued with, that many thought that you were daft or touched because of, led you through darkness, and then the surrounding sounds fell away, and then you found yourself here, which is unusual. It's not that like you'd never wandered off before, but you'd never wandered off into some place that's been sealed, presumably for over 100 years, and then found yourself there by the light of two strangers.
Well, I'll pull myself up to my knees.
And just to clarify, there was nothing over this way?
Correct.
Okay.
What does Reinhard look like? Like, are you like heavily armed, or?
No, he's similarly dressed to the other pilgrims that you had seen.
the, the ones that were hungry and sick in the
Correct.
cave? Or yeah, okay, all right, got it.
Why have you entered this place? I came here to die.
You closed this door behind us?
I don't know about a door. The whispers brought me into this cave. I thought to end my suffering, but now you are here with a light.
Looks like you're gonna have to suffer along with the rest of us.
If that is my calling. You may notice that he's clutching onto a stone idol, relatively small. You know, probably about the size of a football.
Why am I talking? I forgot. I don't have a mouth.
He nudges.
I forgot. This was like easy for me. I'll just hang out on the stream. Let me know when I swing a sword.
Our constant joke is just Norcil goes, Are you one of the sickly?
I'm one of the pilgrims. I came here hoping to be rid of the voices I hear in my head.
What's further into this cave?
I do not know.
Who
Your
got-
light is the first light I've seen.
Interesting.
How'd you separate from the rest?
Oh, I better put that in the wrong one.
I wandered off into the darkness to die. My time here was done.
Do you still wish to die?
Well, I seem to have failed at it. And now this door is open, and with that an opportunity.
Interesting. Sorry, I'm messing with the whispers, but they're showing up everywhere. Can you guys see both of those whispers, or? Oh, I bet you guys
I don't
can.
see. I don't see anything.
Oh, okay, nice.
I
So
can't.
only the Twitchy people can see it. That's funny.
I can see it.
And you, yeah. It's obvious that something quite strange has occurred. Either that, or that you guys can see no evidence of how this person got here.
Right, as you said, there's no signs of traffic of somebody walking through here.
Mm-mm.
The last I remember was stumbling over a corpse. And when I reached down to steady myself, I found this idol. And now I'm here.
Are you blessed or cursed?
That's a question I've yet to answer. I wanted to die, but I'm still alive. That sounds like a curse, but maybe a blessing.
We just fought some who were of your group who raised skeletons against us. Are you friend or foe?
We were plagued by half of our group, and the vile Iggett. She's no friend of mine.
Well, I suppose an enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Also, a blessing or a curse.
Well, I guess another adds to our strength.
Your friend doesn't speak much.
He does sometimes, but just not lately.
Well, if we find the font, it might heal him.
What is further back in this cave? You don't know. Let's see what's back there.
Darkness, until you entered.
Well, we're here. We might as well take a look.
It's a big mystery to us all because I can't even find it in the book, but I know that I've read it, but for some reason I'm having a hell of a time finding it.
Well, in the short term, Reinhard is going to start tying a hangman's noose out of the rope he has.
And what does the idol look like again that you have?
I'm not really sure what it looks like.
I think it would be nice maybe. Why don't we say it looks like a stone, but it has four nubs on either side of almost like an orb, but it would be flat, so almost like a hemisphere maybe. Is that the term I'm looking for? Hemisphere would be half of a spear, and then on either going along either side are going to be four nubs that will be relatively round. So it's not going to be very big. Like maybe the size of a fist or something.
Oh, so not as big as a football?
Sure, football sounds fine.
Okay. So kind of like a brazier, right? Like with four nubby legs. Is that what you're kind of thinking?
I was thinking 8, 4 on each side, right?
Oh, okay.
Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, that's fine.
When you say brazier, do you mean like a sensor, or?
Yeah, like a, for lack of a better term, like an old school charcoal grill, right? Like flat on the top, but rounded on the bottom.
Oh, okay. Well, I was putting it flat on the bottom, rounded on the top.
Oh,
with the nubs being along either side. But maybe if it is upside down, it can be rounded on the bottom. But then it would have a total of 8 nubs going around it in a circle, right? So that could be I don't know, is it convex or concave when it goes down? So it could be concave, like you say, it could be just like that. But I was thinking of it upside down, so it could serve two purposes then, right?
All right. So that's what the idol looks like.
Very primitive.
Mm-hmm.
Tomb Cave, it says, page 20. Oh, maybe this isn't the Tomb Cave, though. Yeah, it is. Page 20. There it is. But it doesn't have any description whatsoever. All right. So, I'm sorry, did you guys move in deeper? No.
Yeah. Norcil, let's move on. Norcil, we've gained a companion.
He's like, I can hear, I just can't speak.
Stu's going to really roleplay this one well tonight.
He's going to try.
Is Reinhard like weak enough? Like we need to try to do something about it, or are you able to move and whatnot?
No, he actually seems strangely more capable than the others that you've met. Like you had seen one guy who could move around decently. Remember, he was the one who was kind of lurking a bit when you saw him. But
yeah, I'm going to maintain my distance. I don't know. Sickness and suspicion.
I don't believe any sickness I had was catching.
So you say. So you say.
Oh, shit.
Maybe you'd be a bit better with a little more sickness in your life.
All right, so like I said, those stairs go down, and then it comes to a fairly decently sized cavern. I'm still looking for the information on this, but I don't know where it is. About 25, 30 feet long, and maybe about 10 to 15 feet wide. And then there is another step down. There does look like there's some sort of remains of supplies, but at the far end of your light there, you can see a pretty big pit that's about 15 feet in diameter, full of bones and skeletons. Skeletal pieces? I don't know what the term should be.
And I turn back to Reinhard and I say, we actually haven't introduced ourselves in terms of our names. I'm Vicente. This is my companion Norcil.
I'm Reinhard of Argosa.
Well, for the time, we are companions. You know nothing of this pit over here that's filled with skeletons?
Until your light broke through the doorway, I was in darkness.
From from what he describes, he almost, it sounds like he was in the cave with the others,
Right.
and then he
Okay.
woke up here basically.
Suddenly found himself here.
It could. There's no possible way that it could be GM Fiat.
Zero.
Zero way.
Let's see.
All right. So what do you guys want to do?
There's like rocks and debris on the ground, right?
Yes.
I'll just pick up a small rock, nothing heavy or major, but just toss it into that pit. I just want to see what happens.
It skitters with the same amount of sound and bouncing that you would expect.
Nothing is disturbed. Nothing. There's no sign of movement.
Nothing more or less than you would expect.
Is this sort of this barrier right here? Does this represent a descent?
A slight up. There's a slight. It goes up a little bit, but not enough that you can't see what's there, right? So maybe goes up 2 or 3 feet, and then is another area that you can see like some different, like old supplies and such.
This is the supplies right here.
Yeah, and they're in back farther, and kind of there's a barrel off to your left. You can see that.
Oh, right here. Yeah. I'll actually take a look at that real quick since we're right here. I'll sort of hit it with the butt of my spear. Does it sound like anything's in there?
Yeah, it has a dull sound to it.
So does it? If I slowly kind of push it a little bit, tip it,
Sloshes a bit.
so it does feel like there's liquid in there.
Yeah.
Is there a way of opening it? Like, is there a hole, or is the top open already?
It's sealed right now, but you could unseal it if you wish to take the top off.
And there's no writing on it.
No. Sealed is probably a strong word. It probably has a lid on it and then a piece of wood down the center that you could grab and just take the top off, you know?
Okay. I will do that. I want to take a look what's in there.
All right. What is Norcil doing, Stu?
Holding the torch. Yeah, I don't know if Vicente's going to go check that out. I mean, I think that's fine. I think it's reasonable for us to be cautious and not doing a bunch of stuff at once.
Is there anything Reinhard's doing?
Is that a corpse right there?
They're all over. This pit is full of them. This is a partial skeleton, yes.
I will examine the partial skeleton that is very close to me. Looking mainly to see if I recognize anything from the dress. Their attire, anything of use.
It looks, any dress that's left here, it looks like these bones have been here for a long time. And it was sealed. It doesn't look like any animals other than insects have been in here. Like I said, there's some, the crunch of carapaces for a little while, and even those probably left when there was no food left, other than what maybe little bits they could get into. It looks like So what I think we'll fast forward this a little bit because obviously you guys are going to try and search around here and try and figure something out. So what I want to do is I don't want to hinder Reinhard too much. So I think you could probably, we'll say that amongst the supplies and shit that you find here, you can find your gear. It's pitted and has some issues, but we'll say that, like, you know, you can have a flail and your stiletto and whatever gear you think that makes sense that could possibly be here. But that's about it, other than we'll make one roll on the carry table. Which is basically just a way to, like, treasure types is kind of how it's used in this game. But they're not treasure types specifically by monster. There's like a few different, there's a couple different carry loot tables. There's valuables, like if you were in a lair, or like some weird shit otherwise. So why don't you roll? Do you guys mind if I'm just fast forwarding this a little bit in that way?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Roll a D100. Why don't what? You're new, Peter. Why don't you? Oh, we already get it. Who is it?
49. Yep.
49. Okay, so I think what you find is like some small bits of trinkets, maybe like an old copper medallion with a really kind of vague octopus or squid motif on it. And, you know, you would guess that the bits and bobs that you find here is worth 69 copper pieces.
I assume the barrel is nothing special, right?
Did you take the top off?
Yeah.
Okay, it just looks like in the barrel, it looks like it is very fetid water with some algae on the top. It looks like it might be a store of water that kind of had some issues here for sitting as long as it did.
Okay, and then I assume Reinhard came down here. This is where Reinhard found his gear?
Yeah, up.
Okay.
It's slightly up.
Up. Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be up. Looking closer at the pit, I will sort of gently prod it with my spear. Move some of the bones around.
All right, you stir some of the bones about in this charnel pit. Nothing happens.
And you said they all are human.
Yes.
No animals.
Mm-mm.
And there's no signs around the pit that indicates the method of death. It's just like they've been piled here.
Yeah.
Like, what's the ceiling look like? Just like this is all sealed off, right? Nothing up top.
Correct. Yeah, this is all sealed.
Yeah. Okay. Like these have been dumped here from above somehow.
For a long time.
Coming over here and checking along this wall. There's no obvious signs of like a secret door.
You don't really see anything. Does anybody else do anything while he spends the time to look for chambers or secret doors or anything?
I'm just going to get myself sorted and get everything packed away.
Yeah, so like you have some pitted and like some verdigreed chain mail and or coat or whatever it is. Like I say, your regular equipment that you have there. Plus 2-minute explanation describing a very primitive brazier, apparently.
Once
Brazier.
while he searches around, I take a lap, probably just come back and like take a peek through the door, that kind of thing.
Okay. Don't see anything untoward. You can look down the almost the mountain of the island and see the summit at anchor in the bay beyond.
There's a pile of bones right here.
I don't know. I can't see where you're pointing. I should move this up. Yeah, bones and some other, like, part of that was probably the pile that Reynard had to go through to find what he was looking for.
Right. So I will just kick with my foot the bones here into the pile.
Okay. Got it. Vicente has OCD. He likes to be cleaning up the bones and throwing them in the charnel pit. Fantastic.
Someone took the time to pile up all these bones, and there's just like this one off to the side. It's just a little disturbing. I'm going to go put them in there. I guess there's a bunch down here too, but... All right, well, I guess there's nothing else to see. Let's head back to the other direction of this cave.
All right. So now you have found Reynard, and we are headed back out to the surface. I'm going to copy these quick. Uh-oh.
Surface, I thought there's a... Oh, no, you said there's nothing there. Never mind. That's right.
That's correct. All right, let's head back out to the Isle. Oh, it didn't take you guys, did it?
Nope.
What the shiitake? Damn you and your attempts to make this app better. There we go.
Music you're playing, is this the music you play at night to go to sleep?
Why is it making you tired?
Just the gentle sounds of the ocean.
Oh, you put the Viking music back on?
That's fine, that's fine. I'm just kidding.
All right, so here we are out on the surface of Wraith Isle. To the south is where it descends down to you can see the stairway there that you're just barely off of. So what now, people?
Well, we were heading up to the temple. I think we keep going in that direction.
Yeah, but maybe keeping an eye out for a similar path like the one we found going to, like where we found the cave and door.
All
Maybe
right.
we'll find another Reynard.
Maybe.
It's possible. It's possible.
My twin is here somewhere.
Oh, God. Now I'm uncomfortable.
From where we are, Reynard, you should be able to see because we're up, right?
Yeah.
You should be able to see our ship out in the ocean. That should give you, I think, some feeling of optimism.
If not, it bet damn well better. He said angrily.
All right,
Really?
we start to make our way up.
Yeah, I know. I really feel like I was much more prepared than this once, and I looked over everything, but now it's like I can't find a damn thing. Like, this thing is empty. All right, well, we're gonna have to wing it, boys.
I think you were too excited to find GIFs or GIFs earlier in the chat. And you thought you were getting all the stuff ready, but you just were sitting in there.
I was working. I was working at that point. 10. All right. So you guys head up to the stairs to the temple above.
Well, as Stu said, we'll
Yeah,
keep
moving
our eyes
slowly.
open. Yeah,
Yeah.
keep our eyes open to see
Yeah.
if there's any side paths along the way.
This is so bizarre. How did I even run this game before? I don't even know what the hell's going on. I thought I had like a big thing that was right next to it and all this shit. You know how you make a map and then you put the number next to it and then you have like some information concerning it? Yeah, but this is just missing. And I'm positive this is a much better a much better product than I'm putting it out to be. Because what's that?
Do you want to take a few minutes? You want to take a couple minutes? Take a break?
Yeah, sure.
Good to
Talk to some
Yeah.
people and see if I can find what I'm looking for here.
Okay. I'm gonna step away for like 1 minute, but then I'll be back.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run and grab some water.
Good idea. Good call, Stu. I'll just jot down some notes, players.
Do you have all that stuff digital, or do you write it out on paper?
I usually have a mix of both. Is usually what I go with. But I did clean my desk in the last month, which may have been an error. And I use my desk for work and for playing and running games, obviously. And my whole mom situation, I got all of her stuff here for that. It's kind of endless.
Jonathan Davis at YouTube is heckling you.
Really? You think that guy would go and play in a D&D game somewhere or something where he would have time to be heckling me?
He's just joking.
He says he is here to heckle.
Do you know where that is?
Yeah, so do you. He was
John?
playing Samala.
Oh, right. That's John. Okay.
Was that her name? Is that even the right name?
Samara.
Samara?
I always thought of him as John D, not Jonathan Davis. So.
Yeah, you're right. That's a stretch. I got all the sick burns, John. I'm full of them. I'm full of the sick burns, man. What I want to know is what Bing chilling is, Eric Swanson. This is the product that I'm showing off, and my head's in the way. Wet wired. I should move it to the other side. That's better.
Peter, is there some meaning behind Spaz Baby?
Yes, a very long time ago, a sleep-deprived friend said I looked like a space baby, like I was a giant baby floating in space. But the way he said it was Spaz Baby, because he was very sleep deprived. I think that was my first year of university, and ever since I've used it as an email address. So it's just kind of followed me. So it was my Twitter handle, it's my Discord handle, it's everything.
Don't ask Robert why they call him Nolabert, because we'd have to listen to his New Orleans story again.
What story is there? I grew up there.
I don't know. You always have a story about. Oh, I almost fell off my chair. Oh shit.
Anyway, so it's on the hat because this is my con hat, so that if someone only knows you from online, they go, "Oh,
That's a good idea. Yeah. So I usually just write it on my badge. I just write Nolabert. Gamehall's a little bit harder because Gamehall has like the hard plastic one. So I usually try to remember to bring like a little sticker where I can write Nolabert on it. So that's what most people know me as on most social media. So
I think you can put like a company or something that you would just put Nolabert in the company line.
I probably should do that, and I just never remembered to do that when I register.
These are all important tips for going to conventions, people. Someone give me a recap of just tuning in. Jonathan Davis. That is pretty funny right there. Please give us a recap of the past 3 sessions. Well, that's pretty much all we've done so far, is gotten a recap and found a stranger laying in the dark. All right. So now here we go, peoples. We are about halfway up the ascent of Wraith Isle. You can see that it's a relatively barren. There are wispy trees, and there are some occasional like grackle. I think maybe right when you come out, a bunch of them fly out of the trees and kind of go in a formation down the length of the island. And you begin to ascend. All right. We'll make some you guys can each make a detection check.
oops."
So we got a great success from Reinhard. So as you guys are moving up the switchback trail of these stairs, as you're also ascending the mountain, I don't really know if it would be considered a mountain or just a hill, but it's not terrible. But the stairs seem like they are put here a long time ago, and they've borne the tread of many, many feet. The wind kind of whips along the hill, and as previously, like it seems like massive clouds can kind of swing in very quickly from the Argosan Bay, or the Argosan Sea, that's inland sea here, and come above and then like kind of pelt the area with rain briefly. That happens as you're ascending. Reinhard, we'll say you guys have moved fairly far up the ascent. This is the wrong one. This is the right one. When Reinhard spots farther up the hill, but off to the left, like over here, you spot a few forms picking their way kind of across from you. where the temple is in front of you. Even from here, you're fairly certain it's likely members of the priests at large, the pilgrims at large. They're being led by one who still seems to be wearing tattered robes, but they're of a deep red color. Most assuredly, the Hellion Iggett.
Have they noticed us?
They're like quite a distance away. It took a miraculous sight to see them. So you don't think so at this moment.
Well, I would crouch down at this point. But do we have any sense about why they are that far away from the stairs?
Mm-mm. Not really. They're
Ryder,
about 100 yards away. Maybe a little more.
Reiner, this looks like some of your group. What would they be doing over there?
They could be some of my group, but they could also be the ones that broke away and plagued us. Especially if that she-demon is with them.
What would they be doing in this area? Off to that side.
I don't know. Is there another pathway over there?
From where we are, do we see any signs of a pathway that leads in that direction?
Nope.
Are they heading toward or away from us?
Away.
Away. Are they heading down the hill?
It's kind of a similar height to you, but yeah, it's going to be kind of down just by the way the island's shaped. The peak, everything kind of goes up towards this spot.
Yeah.
So they're kind of moving along because on the other side of this is cliffs straight down. So they're kind of moving down along this side over here.
Could just let them pass and go up to the temple.
Yeah, they're not even really passing. They're just moving. You just see them in the distance.
Right. Well, I would have crouched down and motioned everybody else to crouch down too. No need for them to catch it, or see us.
What if they've already been to the temple and they've taken all of the healing water?
Well, Reinhardt's been to the temple before, but they couldn't get the doors open.
I don't know what your mission is here, why you are here on the island. But one way or another, Iggett and her foul crew are going to stand in the way of whatever it is you want to accomplish. There's no
remains
bargaining.
that remains to be seen, Reinhard. We are interested in what's in the temple, and if that is Iggett, she's moving away from the temple. I understand you might have an issue with her. Well,
they've been feeding themselves on the sick and the weak. Literally feeding themselves.
I stuff my wheel of cheese further down in my backpack to conceal it.
You wanted to eat you instead?
You brought light into what was pure darkness for me. I will follow you where you go. I am just saying, at some point, where I follow you is going to be directly at her.
Well, let's see what's in the temple first. We can worry about her later.
All right, about an hour later or so, I don't know. It's hard for me to gauge how long it should take to go up this. I think it said an hour or two. I think that your mouth transforms beneath your hood and is now visible. And you can
Hey.
use it, Stu. That's got to be exciting. Let's end the session right there. And then,
High note.
yeah, this is kind of what the island looks like. If that helps. I don't know if I showed that to y'all before. And now you've ascended. All right. At the top, there is like the very, very peak. You can see for a very long ways. I thought that I had put a map in here for you, and I have a map of the inside. Here, we'll show you this. Maybe I didn't. I showed it to you, right? Did you guys see that?
I didn't see anything.
Nope.
Why isn't it showing?
Oh,
There we go. Cool. And this is all part of the same art.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
it's so it's actually in an arch.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Oh wow, it's really nice art.
It's pretty amazing, Randy M. So you can see the
All right, so-
stairs go up there, and then there's like it's a round temple surrounded by a font. There looks like there's some kind of statue that's only, maybe about 10 to 30 feet away from the temple. And there's stairs that lead up to it. And then there looks like some kind of door.
Reinhard, you've been to the temple before, is that correct?
I've been to the door.
You've been to the door. Is the healing water the water that's in front?
It didn't help you guys.
Yeah. If that was the font, then it's made of stories and myth. But we were told the healing waters could be inside.
Are we like outside of it now?
Yeah, you're going to be at like the bottom, maybe, another 15 or 20 stairs down from that, from what you can see right now. Apparently, I did not put this in the map. I just did it as a handout. Is that okay, or do you want me to like throw it in as a map so you can put your tokens and shit on there?
It's fine.
No, it's all right.
What does the statue look like?
So you're going to move all the way up the stairs up to that?
As well, we don't. It seems kind of prominent and larger, so I don't think we have to be right up against it.
So it looks like it is above you. There is a heavy overcast feel as those clouds moved in. And I do think that you guys have a feeling of unease being this close. There is definitely something here. Like every person in Tales of Argosa can detect magic, but each person has their own way. Maybe it's the hair on the back of your neck. Maybe it's a sinking feeling. But whatever it is, or whatever you personally in the real world have, whenever something strange that you can't really easily explain away, whatever feeling that gives you, if it's a puckered anus or whatever it is, you definitely have it happening right now. The statue on the right, it looks like it's made of some kind of dark blackish stone. Even from here, It looks like a squid standing on its legs.
How many legs?
However many they have. I don't know.
Squids?
Yeah. 4? Tentacles like legs. Standing as legs like
Oh.
tentacles, sorry.
I see.
So what do you guys want to
It
do?
has
What I was going to say is, as you're looking at it, you can see across from it on the other side of the stair path is some other kind of monolithic stone, not nearly as large nor as well done. It looks like it had been started to be carved, but it doesn't seem to depict anything. It's Euclidean, so don't fear that. Like now, out of the corner of your eyes, you almost feel like you can see wispy forms kind of moving up and down the stairs beside you, but when you look at them closely, it just you don't really see anything.
And nothing more to the forms? What I mean, forms mean what? Like a human?
Yeah, humanish shape,
Shape?
humanoid shape.
Reiner, do you see these?
Yes.
The last time you were up here, did you see these?
Yes.
What do you know about the squid statue?
What do I know about the squid statue? It's a very good question.
I think since you've been here, and what you'd heard before is you'd heard of the cult of Gaux, Gaux, some old god that was revered and worshipped by the Temple of Gaux that was here. Devoted themselves to honoring Gaux, and they constructed a massive temple here, and hopefully at some point, or the rumor or legend is that it can heal people. The inner waters in the inner chambers.
From where we're standing, does the door look like it's open or ajar?
No, definitely shut. I should
Well,
tell you. Let me see. It looks like the domed ceiling is made out of strange metal, possibly copper.
And what material are the walls, and how do they join to the top of the temple?
Well, I think that there's probably like the roof of the temple. You mean, how does it go down over top? Like you can't see because the roof pieces go up underneath that conical dome almost. The temple doors look to be about 10 meters high, and they're made of stone, and they're bound with copper.
Is there any adornment on the doors?
So I still have you guys a little farther away. It's possible there's something on there, but you'd have to get closer to get a really good look.
Yeah, we'll move up cautiously a little bit closer.
Up as far? I mean, are you moving up as far as the statues, or?
I guess we could be on the first platform before. I guess you just have to be higher than that to see this door, right? 'Cause
No.
there's some stairs, I think, up that.
But they're not. It's not that far away.
Okay, I'd say that first platform before we get to the statues.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have a map of that? Apparently not. All right, so yeah, so you're kind of near the statues, but they're up a little bit. There's only like 5 or 6 stairs, so you can see that. Eric Swanson, what if the sponsorship was for prep?
No, no, no.
Nope,
No.
don't say it out loud.
Nice one.
What? I'm still anticipating what the answer would be.
I was going to say, what if the sponsorship was Preparation H? Oh, God. All right. I feel like I used to be so much quippier than I am these days. All right. Okay, so there's 2 statues, one on the right, one on the left. The one on the right is very well formed. The one on the left looks like it's only been partially done. They're both made out of this, it looks like a very strong blackish rock. I don't think anyone really has the type of background that would tell them what kind of rock it was. The squid looks exquisitely detailed. It's very, very well made. So intricately carved tentacles, eyes, and the normal features. It looks fairly resilient, though it does seem like in some places there have been chips taken out of it.
And the squid is Gox?
That's what you would assume. It's a Gox or some sort of representation, yeah. Then there's the other like monolith that's on the left side. In front of you is the large temple. It is surrounded by an outer pool that's about 10 feet wide. The stairs, not the ones that are right before you or where the statues are, beyond you, it looks like there's another stair, and then there's a 10-foot area that's open, and then you can see the door to the temple. But it's fairly apparent even from here that there was once some sort of bridge-like structure that might have went from where those stairs are over to where the doors are, but it's no longer there.
And the pool, is it motionless or is it moving? Is it flowing water or still?
It's still. You would guess that from the size of it, probably the circumference of the water would be over 250 feet.
Does the statue have like a little placard or anything with tourist information?
You don't spot anything on there. Like I say, about the best thing.
No, there.
Yeah.
And from here, can we see the door? And
you can
adornment,
see
or...
the door. It your better description isn't in the on the other side of the pool, or the moat that goes around, is a 4 feet wide ledge that appears to run around the exterior of the temple. The doors are 10 feet high and etched in Argosan in "Let thee of sickness drink the tears of Gox. Fear not, for renewed life and vigor flow." So I think Reinhard, when they were here before, one of the priests was ordered by Iggett to, swim across the moat and touch the doors. And they were almost immediately struck by the ill temper of Gox and fried, struck by lightning. Electrical burst kind of exploded from the door.
And water to go around to see if there's like anything behind.
Yeah, it's just their back door. On the back, it just falls off to the rest of the cliff, and you can see for miles across the Argosan Sea. Some of the other islands on the south eastern edge of the inner sea.
Okay, so we've gone a little bit off to the left to see that.
I'm just assuming they kind of walked over, and are looking through the archway because there's kind of an area that you can do that.
Right,
You can
and
just
now,
see that it looks off the backside.
so while Norsel's doing that, I'll look at the partially carved monolith. Anything distinctive or stand out to me about that one?
Why don't you make a detection check?
Not so good.
Yeah, like it seems strange. You don't know if like it's some sort of, the difference between the beginning before you understand what true life is under the visage of Gox, or what the representation is, but it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, or maybe it was unfinished or whatever. But you can, like when they're doing all this, they seem a little more focused, but Reinhard, you can feel like almost a presence as these wispy wraiths seem to be moving even stronger. And at one point, you almost see like some sort of dreamlike or ghost-like visage play out, where you can almost hear the sounds of conflict, and then see like one group of defenders being flung from the peak down to the rocks beyond the temple.
Do I have any knowledge of like a holy war that took place here in the past? I have this divine lore skill that's staring me right in the face.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and make a check on that? And it may not be something that you'd heard. It may be something that has more recently come to your brain after seeing this. Great success. So what I would say is, like, maybe the whispers have been telling you this and now you're realizing it since you're here at the peak. That if something could truly heal people, eventually someone would want to come to try to control it. And that happened. And when they realized they couldn't, they killed the remaining monks, and the cult of Gox was no longer. I think as the whispers whisper information to you in a tongue that you're not even sure you understand, the ghostly visages around you take more shape, and it makes it more evident of what happened. I think within that, you can see maybe a time before the enemies came, and the temple monks, when they moved in and out of the temple and went through the doors, they were carrying some sort of key that allowed egress.
There's a key to the door. A key that'd keep us safe.
Where is this key?
He gives you a description of it. I put a picture up for you.
Some kind of bone? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it definitely looks like bone or coral. I think you would probably describe it as coral.
And the orb, the centerpiece, is that copper by chance?
It looks more like a pink pearl, I believe.
Pink pearl. Wow. Okay.
How deep is the water surrounding the temple?
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find the exact description of that thing. Man, this thing is only 25 pages, but this is how bad I am at using PDFs. I know that it has like one whole page that's like pictures and description, all of that. To make this easy, I think I would tell you that you guys believe you maybe found something like this in the Sculpt Caverns. Do you remember?
So what do we have it, or do we leave it back there?
You have
Go
it.
back to my notes. We
You
do.
have it. Yeah. Man, I know this thing is on here.
Oh, I do have that written down. Norsel sees treasures in the alcove, a pearl with a pink coral.
All right.
Talisman with squid etching made out of coral. Did you write that down in your stuff, Norsel? Dude?
I didn't have it. No. Sounds like you do.
A large pink pearl encased in a piece of reddish blue coral. The coral contains intricate carvings and has been inlaid with a small white pearl. The item itself, I'm not supposed to read that part to you. I think the images actually showed them going through it, but then you can see after the battle or during the battle, Peter, that one of the monks hurls it off of the mountaintop into the waters below. The item is a little over 4 inches long. The large pink pearl is a diameter of 1 inch.
They threw the key to keep it safe. They threw it back to Gox in the water.
I reach into my pack and I say, perchance, is this it? I hold it up.
Dun, dun, dun. You're like showing the ring in the Lord of the Rings movies. All right.
You asked about curses and blessings before. I think you were blessed, my friend.
All right. So as far as the water, it's are you gonna like try and reach the bottom, or what are you trying to do?
Well, I mean, now that we know they have a key, I don't know that I care that much. Yeah, I was just curious before if we were going to do a full search around the temple, but I don't know, maybe that's not the play now.
All right, should we head over?
Just walk in while holding the key.
Well, one of us has to try. I mean, might be best not for all of us to be clustered by the door. There's enough of a landing, you said. It's like 4 feet around, you said?
Yeah, but it is 10 feet across that water.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And there's no
so-
bridge. There is no bridge, so you would have to go through the water to get there.
Right. Looking into the water, do we see anything in it? Or fish? Or...
Oh, you guys, I figured out why I'm having so many problems. Oh, Jesus, what an idiot. I have it really big, but it's 2 sides, so I've only been looking at all the left pages and none of the right pages. Cause I'm like, God damn it, now I can't find any of this stuff. Where is everything? All right. Oh my God. That's so funny.
When the monks were here, they used a bridge. I don't know if we want to tempt fate in the water.
Are you going to build us a bridge?
Yeah, you don't
I
have any
might.
other way unless you're going to try and reach it across. It is very deep.
Do we see anything swimming in it? And is it clear?
The
Is
moat
it
is a
cloudy?
cesspool of rainwater, silt, and muck.
So it's cloudy.
Yeah, I
Jump
got
10
to
feet across, right? 10 feet, you can jump
Be
that.
right back.
You could do a running jump.
10 feet's longer than you think.
So put your foot in the water. Let's see what happens.
Didn't some people drink it in the previous group?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought we knew some of Reinhardt's group tried it and they did not feel better.
I'm just saying,
He-
just make sure nothing bites your toe or anything.
He did say that. Now that we know it's a cesspool, he might want to retcon that.
Let's toss something in and see if anything comes out.
I mean, we could go back down the hill and try and take down a tree.
Do you have an axe?
I have a flail. Will that work?
Flailing a tree, I think, is going to be.
I mean, it'd be 4 hours plus, like, round trip, but didn't we, like, drag our small boat up? I don't know. It seems silly to go do that. We should just go across.
Right, and there was that rotting sort of wood from that dory that I don't know if we could try to fashion a bridge out of that. But again, that's quite a ways down that we'd have to go down to grab that and bring it back up.
Well, he did
And we
say.
know some...
Sorry,
Right.
go ahead.
Not sure that's what you were going to mention, but he did mention we knew one of the other group did get across.
Yeah, they didn't die until they got to the door. So
Sounds safe.
yeah. I mean, I have a lot of rope. We could tie ourselves together.
I thought that person swum across, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, swim across.
And it's 10 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's some rocks out there, I assume.
Yes.
I take a rock and I toss it into the water.
Okay. The rock goes into the water.
Nothing comes out.
Mm-mm.
No signs of anything stirred by that.
Nope. Ripples away like you would expect.
We need to
But you said it's very deep, right? So if I take like the back end of my spear and poke around in there, I can't touch bottom.
Correct.
Okay. Who wants to take the running leap? Reiner, this might be our way of telling whether you are blessed or cursed.
I can put it in my teeth and swim across. It's fine.
Yeah?
Can I tie a rope? Can we tie a rope around you just in case?
Sure.
All right, you tie a
All right.
rope around Norcil, and he bravely makes his
Don't forget
way
the key.
across. And when he clambers up on the other side, the 4-foot ledge, the key in hand and the doors swing open.
All right. Reinhard, how about you next? And then I will take the rear.
Yeah.
So Norcel will untie the rope, pass it back over to us, or we're just gonna pull it back. You'll tie it on yourself.
You're over here.
He can just hold on to it, and
Okay.
I'll tie,
Yeah.
tie the other end onto myself, and
You're on the other
over
side.
I go. Yeah.
All right. So we make it across. Is that right?
Yep. There's a 4-foot ledge. The door is open. Inside, you can see there's another ledge going around, and then there's stairs that lead up. It's very, very hot and humid. The dome, the conical dome above, is dripping condensation constantly onto the rocks or the stony bridge and the ledges around the stairwells. Up in the center is where's my book? Here we go. All right, the chamber is about 50 feet in diameter, and it's surrounded by a 3-foot wide ledge. The walls are smooth pitch stone, the same heavy black rock that the statue outside was made of. The floor is wet and slippery, as is the pyramidal stairway. The ceiling is domed and constructed of solid copper, much of it tarnished and discolored verdigris. Droplets of condensation fall from above. The air inside is very humid, with an underlying odor and the heady smell of ozone. There's no light other than the light coming through the doorway, and assuming the wet torch that Norcel has tried to light.
And so all 4 of those are stairs leading up to something.
Correct.
We can't tell what's up there from the light.
It leads up to the 4 stairways form a pyramid over the large circular pool with a platform on top, which stands a squid-like statue.
But we can reach the pool that's inside from our level.
Yep, the
3-foot
water is
thing.
on your level, yeah.
And is that water clear compared to what's outside?
It is. Even from here, you can see that the statue is inset with numerous pearls and gems, and a large grayish pearl rests atop the squid idol's head.
And will you remind us, what did the inscription on the door say one more time?
The door said, "Let thee of sickness drink the tears of gawks. Fear not, for renewed life and vigor flow."
Does it look like condensation is running down the statue's face, or?
Yeah,
the
you can
body?
see condensation is everywhere and dripping down into the pool from the domed conical ceiling above. Oh, the inner pool. I forgot. Here it is. Cloudy liquid. The inner pool spans 40 feet, 12 feet in diameter, and is filled to the edge with cloudy water. Drips from all over, onto the stairs and into the water, creating constant rippling bubbles along the surface of the pool. What do you guys do?
That you mentioned
Well-
is at the top of the pyramid thing, or is it on our level as well?
What?
The statue that has
The
pearl on
statue
it?
is up on the top,
Yeah, okay.
on that platform. So like where we see those, like it looks like bridges, they're not really bridges, they're stairs that lead up above you.
Yeah.
Did you mention, because if you did, I missed it, how high it is off the pool?
I don't think I did, but we're going to say 4 stone stairways create a pyramid arch over the pool, rising a height of over 30 feet to a stone platform.
Those are pretty steep stairs.
Each stairway is 5 feet wide and slick with moisture. The pyramid is a 10 by 10 square, or the platform, with the large squid statue in the center. Dead-eyed gaze directed at the doorway below where you stand.
Fill our flasks with the water.
Is this what the water that we need, or do we have to get up to the
It's just a statue up there, right?
statue? Yeah.
It says the tears, though, so I would say that the water running off the statue would be the...
You don't think it collected down here is sufficient?
If
If I wrote it, I would have made it more poetic.
Somewhat grotesque looking of a squid, but it's been lavishly decorated with pearls, bits of jade, and the occasional agates. It's intricately carved, easily as good as the statue outside, and there's a large gray pearl set in its head on the top.
Proposal was we focus on getting the water, but maybe not.
You can also pry off some of these.
Yank jewelry from statue inside of temple that somehow throws lightning at people.
Let's just see if we can break off the whole statue and carry that along with us.
I don't know how you did it, but you just read off my number one on my to-do list. Sounds like a great idea.
We'll start the new cult of Gawks. Norcil, I proclaim you the cult leader.
Can we take a look behind us as well, out down the slope that we came up, just to see if we see any sign of anybody?
Are you going back out from here? So the archway is kind of around you. You don't see anything on the stairs below. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay, we haven't really gone in, so like I'll go in just on this edge, peer into that pool. I'll dip my tail end of the spear a little bit in there, not very deep, just a little bit, and sort of start it up a little bit.
Okay.
Pull it out. Did I notice anything? It didn't do anything to my spear
Nope.
haft or anything.
No, it grew back a tree. You can see a little twig coming out with it. No, I'm just kidding. It didn't do anything to it.
The water, does anything discernible do I see in the water?
Nope.
And you said there's condensation running along the walls?
The walls and falling from the ceiling above.
So I'll just hold my hand up either to catch some of it or to put it up against the wall just to get enough of water. There's enough that pulls in my hand, and I'm going to take a sip.
Okay. You take a sip. It tastes like minerally, kind of like not as like a sparkling water, but more like, mineral water. So it's got like a lot of calcium and magnesium in it, most likely.
But nothing particularly unusual about it other than that.
I mean,
I don't like. I suddenly feel very different.
You
Yeah,
probably haven't had enough in order to do that. Yeah, if it does do something. Are you hurt in any way?
Yeah, I'm down half hit points.
You do feel invigorated, Peter, but you guys no longer feel that heavy sense of foreboding that you had outside.
It's got to be the water, right? Let's get the water.
You just think it's this water. You don't think it's up there. We have to go up there at all.
I mean, it doesn't look like a water collection vessel, right?
The squid
statue.
you're talking about.
Yeah. Right.
It is 30 feet above you and about 15 feet away, 20 feet away. So I don't know what that is. If I was going to take the hypotenuse of that.
All right. Well, Norcil, you can fill the flask. I am going to sort of crawl my way up these stairs to the statue.
Okay.
We're not coming this far and not looking at this thing any closer.
I will join
Here?
Vicente up there, but I'll take different stairs up. I'll go
I
up
like
this
it.
way.
So, okay, perfect.
Yeah, but I'm gonna not like stands. And you said it was slippery. I'm just
Very
going to sort of
slippery,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
Slowly,
sort
just
of
kind of
shimmy
inch
my
your
way
way
up.
up. Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Norcel, you're filling up your flasks and any other flasks, or just a silver flask?
Yeah, whatever we have on us. Like I would like maybe dump my water skin in the trash water behind me, and maybe fill that up too while I'm here.
Trash water.
You're gonna fill your water skin up with the water out on the outer pool or the inner pool?
The inner, the good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he poured it out in the trash water.
Oh, poured it out in the trash. I was like, what are you doing with the trash water? You're filling up your actual flask
yeah.
with that?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink that. All right, sounds good. So you guys slowly, very slowly, inch by inch, ascend your way up these the 30-foot staircase leading to the 10 by 10 platform with the pitch stone statue of the squid-like gawks. Like I say, you can see that it has many, lots of pearls, and then a large gray pearl on the top. Even from here, you would guess that the gray pearl on the top of the statue is likely worth 1,000 gold pieces. All the other ones look like they're semi-precious stones, but if somehow you were to take every single piece of precious stone off here, you know, it would probably be 2,000 gold pieces worth of small gems.
Okay, so we're up there, right? And You've said we've noticed this about it. Anything about how the water is coming down and landing on it, or that seems...
It looks like the water is
to
kind
take
of
note.
dripping off of the top and bouncing off of it and splashing in. You know, you can feel it kind of splashing on you as you go up. I think like you can have 1 hit point for being in here. If you're down a hit point, Maltworm, you would get it as well.
We get 1 back, is what you said?
So far, yeah. We haven't actually drank it or like swam in the waters or anything like that. But even Reinhard feels better. Like some of the lameness or like the scabs that he might have gotten from the scabies that he had gotten or whatever seems to be slowly being cured by the time that you've been in this temple, inner temple.
Leonard, make sure you heal whatever ails you. If you want to come back with us on the boat, can't guarantee the captain will take you aboard if you're showing signs of illness.
Or I'll take you aboard, it sounds like.
I will take the butt end of my spear and then just gently touch the squid statue.
All right. Roll an even-sided die and tell me even or odd. Did you say odd?
I haven't decided yet.
Oh,
No, since you said that, I'm going to say even.
okay. So now roll your die. All right, it is even. So with a dull thud, nothing seems to happen. You kind of hit the statue.
Is there any place to put like arms or?
There would be room around the on the platform around where the statue is. It doesn't cover the whole 10 by 10 area. It's relatively circular at its base. So yeah, you have an area around there to like drop coins or whatever you might want to.
This talisman that I found in the cave, do I recognize it as a talisman to Gox? You said it had a squid octopus image on it. The cheap 69 copper piece talisman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'll leave that on as an offering.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So, what else are your plans?
I will take my dagger.
Oh God, no.
I am going to pry a
Look,
pearl.
stop. Just no, don't do it.
You can hear Norcil saying, "Don't do it," but he can't stop you. So you can certainly do that if you wish.
Yes, I'm going to pry a pearl off of it. Not the big one off the top, just one off the side.
All right. As Norcil, you're still filling up as they climbed up there. You're watching them, obviously, right? So you can see when he touches it, it looks like not only do you see like ripples, but like bubbles start to occasionally come up from the water on the surface of the water.
I would yell out again, like, I mean it, stop.
I haven't pried it off.
It's going to take you a couple minutes. It's not going to be like a pop like that, right? So yeah,
Right.
you're doing it. Reynard is lovingly dropping items along around the statue to give reverence to Gawks, and you're up there prying out a pearl. And
Norcil says something.
he says stop, and now you can see like it's like at first it was just getting to that heat temperature that it would start to bubble. Now it's kind of like more almost omnipresent on the surface. You can see the water.
Yeah, I would notice this, so I'll stop at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you are 30 feet above it, but it
Right.
does look different than it did before. You can almost maybe start to hear and kind of feel increase in heat or something like a strong smell of ozone. All right. Oh, wait, I messed up. There's something that happened before. There's something that happened before the bubbles started, actually. I had to read because I wanted to make sure I got it right here. This is why I don't necessarily like running pre-written adventures, because I'm always reading them as opposed to just doing whatever. All right. So area D. So when you're working at it to pop it up, and you can hear him say, "Oh, see, this is why I keep on looking up when I don't have to look up. I have to look to the right."
So what happens?
I'm looking to the right. Relax. All right, here we go. All right, make a. I don't care. What's your best attribute?
It's charisma.
Make a charisma. Make a luck check with charisma. Luck save with charisma. I guess all you guys are going to have to, actually. Look at Stu's face.
Do we all have to use charisma? Or
Oh,
we
no,
all
you
use
can
our best-
use whatever your favorite is.
Oh, can I do a reroll on that?
Yeah, you can use you have a reroll pool. You can use your reroll pool for the save. So can you, Stu, if you have a reroll pool left.
Yeah.
Nice.
Best reroll ever.
It is a pretty good one. All right, so great success. I'm going to give you this quartered. If you made it, I'll give it half.
Oh,
Massive burst of electricity shoots off and kind of just like pulses off of the statue. And that's how much damage you take. Or half if you succeeded, or a quarter if you
I'm down.
failed.
Yeah, I'd be down
Round
too
down.
if it's 12.5.
Well, I'll
13.
12.
round down, right?
Yeah, I'll give you 12.
Yeah, I had 8. I'd be down.
All right, so you're blasted by it. Peter, are you still up?
Yeah, quarter would be 6, right?
So Norcil, you feel this blast of energy. You're like, don't, and then boosh. There's a massive blast, and what the hell? Why can't I? Oh, I'm on the GM screen. Here we go. You bounce off of the wall, boosh, fall into the water. Vicente, ay, boosh. Reinhard, it just kind of your hair is standing on end, like you're kind of smoking. So we'll give you guys the first round of being in the water. But you can see the water below. It doesn't really ripple when they hit it. It's starting to bubble drastically. You guys are like, why would they put this kind of thing in this game? This would be even worse if you're playing OSE. Just think how many hit points you probably have, and this is how much damage you take.
I think it's fine for it to be there. Who would have gone up to pry stuff out instead of just get the water?
Greedy people. All right, so you guys are healed 3 hit points while you're in the water. But first, we have to make your save to see if you're dead or if you weren't instantly killed or not. Because obviously you're in the healing waters of Gox.
Did I come off the bridge or off the
Up to you.
stairwell?
You can fall in if you want to. I'm okay either way.
And I'll stay out.
Because you're not sure what would happen. These guys, but the water, they immediately start to sink. It's very deep. So if you're wearing armor, you're probably not going to float. All right, injury and death, page 81. I think the roughest part of the whole thing isn't that you take 5d10 damage. I think, or it says 5d10 in here. I only rolled 5d6, first of all. The second thing is, let's make 10, make a check. It can be a roll equal or under to check versus 10. This is interesting. So it's not an actual, it's 10 plus your con mod or will mod, whichever is higher.
It's for the dead guys?
Yep. The
Okay.
wounded guys.
Well, I got wounded too, so.
No, the below 0, I should say.
Yep.
Does
So-
the healing water count as healing magic applied to us that would give a bonus to the save?
I will give you advantage.
So what are we doing here? We're rolling high on this?
You want to be under 10 plus your con mod or will mod. So what's higher, your con or your wisdom?
My con is a +1.
All right, so you get a +1. All right, Vorcil is dead.
Is it just +1 or I just add it to it? I want to get under 11.
You just want to get under 11. 11 or under.
Right.
And you get 2 chances. Do you got a reroll pool, Stu? Or do you use your only... Do you have another one or no?
No, I do have one more, yeah.
Okay. All right, so Vicente, you are not dead. Hey! It only took 4 chances,
rolls.
Stu. All right, so now we're going to make a D20 roll, I guess. Wait a second, let me see here. After the combat, I just catch whatever that means, as long as there's no immediate danger. Roll a D20, each of you guys.
6.
6. Roll a D6. 6. All right. Now roll a D4.
3.
3. 1, 2, 3. All right. You lose 6 points of will from a head injury when you must have hit your head on the stairs before you splashed in. All right. Roll a D20, Stu.
What's the minimum I can be at? I can be at 3. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stu, roll a D20.
Yeah, it was 7.
Oh, okay, 7.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
roll a
I don't-
D6. 6.
6,
Roll a D3.
2.
All right, you lose 6 points of dexterity as you you pulled a hammy and maybe an Achilles and ACL tear all at once.
I think
As
you
your
just
body was just like whipped around
pulled
and
everything
smashed
straight up
into
and
everything.
down through the groin.
Yeah, you had a horrible muscle tear.
But we've come to, I assume. We're conscious now.
So I said that. How many hit points did I say you guys got back? 3. How
Three.
how low were you, Robert?
Am I supposed to count negative?
Yeah. Well, yeah. No. Let's just say that. Yeah. You come. So like you starting to sink like a rock, and you don't. But the water is boiling all around you. Your eyes open, and you look down, and you can see a massive form slowly starting to rise below you in the cloudy water.
I'm going to swim up.
Stu, are you up? Yeah, you'll be up with the same thing. You'll have up to those hit
Yeah.
points.
Yeah. We're getting out of here if we can.
All right.
I blame that Reinhard. We're both in the water. He's not in here.
What did he do?
Yes. He backstabbed us.
I think I'm going to head over there and see if I can step on his head.
All right, so the water is viciously boiling. And even now, Reinhard, you can see somehow through all the bubbles, it looks like there's a large form that's moving slowly towards the surface.
Swimming, trying to get to the platform, get out.
All right, let's make a athletics test. And we'll give it up to 4 rounds is how long it could take you guys to get out. 1 round would be a great success, 2 rounds for a success, 3 rounds for a failure, 4 rounds for great total failure.
Is this for just the swimmers?
Yes.
Okay. Can I, as they're trying to get out, can I cautiously, but as quickly as I can, move over to Norcil and try and fish him out?
Yes. What'd you get, Norcil?
I'm sorry, what was the check?
Athletics. If you don't have athletics, then strength.
Sure.
If you want to roll, if you have another reroll pool, Robert, you can reroll it if you want to.
Do I? Let's see. Yes, I do. So I will reroll.
Same thing. All right. So a failure we said took 3 rounds to get out of the water. All right. But with Reinhard helping you, I think, Reinhard, why don't you make an athletics check? And however good you are, you can subtract your successes from what they are. A terrible failure. Do you want to... you fall into the water.
I will use my last reroll on that one.
All right. All right, so a failure. So you got 3, so that's not going to help. It's the same. Oh, you guys got... that wasn't that good. All right, so it's going to take at least 3 rounds. Let's see how long it takes for Gawks. It's not called submerge. What's it called when they...
Emerge?
Emerge? Is that what it is? Emerge out of the water?
Breach?
Breach the
Breach?
surface? I'm glad you had to push the button. I'm always excited to... you want to see Robert play more Calmata, don't you, Stu?
No, he's not invited to my games.
I think we all know that what triggered this was you and your greed and how much water you were filling up.
Without question.
You were taking way too much water, and you were bringing on the curse of Gawks for that reason.
That's so...
All I was doing is just taking a closer look at one of those pearls.
So sweet. Oh, shit. I keep on doing that, guys. I'm like, man, I can't find this information I'm looking for. Where could it be? Oh, yeah. On the other
Zoom
side.
out, Pops. Just zoom out.
I think I have it on a setting that's doing that.
Why do you have it so big? Because you have old man eyes and you can't read?
Yeah, fucker.
It's got 2 pages open.
I've got like 25 million things on 2 screens that I'm trying to read. All right, however, if they are enticed by the squid idol and attempt to tamper in any way, I'm just going to roll a d6 myself.
I see a cat in the background.
Oh, it's Izzy. Hey, Izzy. All right, so it's going to take 4 rounds. So you guys are going to get to the surface, but you can see this massive form rising up from the bubbles. All right, and you guys all seem to get out at the same time. What are you going to do?
Have I lost my spear? Did that fall in the water and fall away from me?
I think it probably. I usually don't do that to people. Why don't we do the even or odd thing? You pick it, and then you can roll it. If you succeed in choosing that, then it's going to be on the ledge. It got blasted out onto the ledge or on the stairs
Okay.
or something.
Going to odd this time. Haha.
You got it.
Grab my spear, run out.
Is that what everyone's plan is to run out and jump into the water on the other side?
Yep.
Yep.
Stu?
Yeah.
All right, just like as you guys are escaping, almost battling each other to get out the door, you can the creature, like you look behind you, it looks like a massive squid with tentacles easily the size of a man in girth are flopping around, and you can almost kind of feel the electricity as it's if these one of these tentacles would have hit you, it probably would have killed you and smashed you in there. But outside, you guys breathing heavily, you have everything that you wanted. Let's do this.
I want full hit points.
3 rounds. You're just lucky to be alive. I don't know if that worked. All right, so you each thrashing around, you get 5 hit points. And you can remove one of the penalties because you're in the healing waters of Gox.
I was not, though, right?
Right.
That you're talking about that time that we were in the water because we've
Yep.
run out now. Okay.
Yep.
And we've gotten 5 hit points on top of the 3, or
Yes.
and then what was the last thing you said?
I don't know.
One of your conditions is gone.
Oh, yeah. One of the points, because you had 6 points affecting your stat.
Oh, right.
One of
So we
those
get one.
points is healed.
Norsel, this is what happens when you take more than the silver flask.
No. We do have the silver flask, though. Do we want to drop back by the cave of sick people and give them the water skin? No opinions?
I don't know.
I
Ryan-
think it's a very good idea.
Reinhard probably knew something about what's going to happen in there. He could have told us. I don't know if we need to help out those people in the cave. Reinhard, will they join us?
If they heal themselves, yes, I think so. I think they will join anyone except for Iggett.
Well, maybe we've got some new new hirelings, retainers. We heal them. You can come with us.
We'll heal you, but you're instant slaves.
But you owe us.
It's not slaves. It's we do something for you, you do something for us. It's called an exchange. There's nothing wrong with a social exchange. These are strangers.
Here's a sweet depiction.
Ooh, that's cool.
There it is, erupting out. Looks pretty cool. That's a cool picture, I think. All right, so bedraggled and wounded and with a torn groin, you guys are going to make your way down the mountain, back towards the water level, right? The plan is at the marker stone to head over to the Dory Cave. Correct?
Yeah. On our way down, I start to draft some lyrics to a song about the brave Vicente and Vorcil facing down the terrible Gawks. We have our lives to show for it.
You guys can see his head wound oozing.
You'll notice that Reinhardt's not part of that lyric.
Yeah, I noticed. I can understand why the faithful of Gox they didn't do very well. There's something counterintuitive about a squid being electrified and not an eel. I don't think the faith had a lot going for it.
The squid wasn't electrified. It's the brass and the bronze of the building and the tunnel and the because you weren't around, but there were lots of lightning strikes hitting it during different parts of the night and stuff. Do you guys remember me telling you that? Yeah, it's a little weird.
Maybe.
I agree.
Maybe.
So we'll say that pearl clenched, but you have like a circular scar burn in your hand where you kept a hold of the pearl that was worth 20 gold pieces.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Look at that.
Definitely worth it.
It's a story. Yes, I have a song to sing about our adventure. Yes.
All right. So I think it's 9:30. I think you guys are making your way down the stair, and you're nearing the marker stone. Man, I thought I had a map of the marker stone, but I guess not. Maybe we just did it right on the screen. Does that sound right? And I think the sun is setting behind you. The wispy wraiths that were almost invisible in the daylight are now visible, and they seem rather corporal behind you. But they don't seem to come any farther down the mountain, like they stay near the temple. I think your last look, the doors closed behind you with a thud, sparks coming off of them. And now you've traversed all the way back down the winding stair, or the cutback stair. Go ahead.
As we're heading down, I'll bug Vorcil for some pulls on that wine flask, that water flask. Drinking more of the water, does it do anything else?
I didn't even drink it. I mean, I thought we were going to give it to the other people.
Yeah, I know, but I'm injured.
So am I. Thanks to you. No, we can't have it.
So am I.
You know you're supposed to heal yourself first before you heal others. That is common adventure knowledge.
We'll get some rest on the boat.
I think as you guys are coming down the stairs, and you can just see in the shadows of the marker stone from the setting sun, there are some figures, and one of them is dressed in red and bearing a smoking censer.
Reinhard, looks like your date with destiny has arrived.
I knew I'd follow you towards her.
There's a couple other men with her and 2 skeletons. All right. So we have the big finale with Iggett. Do we want to get into it tonight, or do we want that to be a cliffhanger for the next session?
I vote cliffhanger.
Yeah,
Yep.
You tired? Okay.
I'm getting there. Not quite, but I think it'll be longer than half
Yeah,
an hour.
I was thinking it was going to go over, and then we're going to be in the middle of the fight and be like, we have to stop now, which is not good.
Which is exactly why I said what I said. But I didn't move this over. All right. So, Peter, I don't really know how many games you've actually been in that I've ran, but I know that you played some of the
Hyperborea.
Hyperborea games. No, not Hyperborea. I wasn't running Hyperborea. You've been in at least one of the sessions of...
We played
Low Fantasy Gaming.
Low Fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah, Midlands Vignette. So
Yeah.
now what I like to do, this is another reason that I would prefer not to end. This is a time when I want to talk about like rules things. Obviously, we didn't use a ton of rules, but some. And any highs and lows from the session. Do you want to start, Peter, or do you want to go last as the new guy?
No, I mean we didn't use a ton of rules. You're right. So yeah, I don't really. I mean, I went over the rules, so I mean I knew about rerolls, and I was kind of ready to use the odd combat mechanic, the one about major and minor
Exploits?
Exploits.
exploits.
Yeah, we'll
There we
definitely
go.
get into that next session.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't tap into any of my special abilities really yet, so I don't really have any questions about those or judgment on them. Yeah. I don't really have a ton to add, I don't think.
Any highs and
good,
lows
bad.
for the session?
Oh, highs and lows. I liked the fact that I could use a skill, so I guess that would be one of the rules. When I got to use Divine Lore and it rolled successfully, that was kind of interesting. But by and large, I mean, it was high point is it's got a bit of a nice old school feel to it.
Not just system. This could be just from the session. Like
No, I meant the
anything
game
that
itself
happened. Okay,
feels more old school than I was expecting, which is kind of cool. Didn't really have any lows, except being blamed for for Gox, but that's all right. I can live with that.
All right, Stu.
Yeah, I thought the atmosphere of the temple and just how that ended up was like pretty cool. It's like a cool area. It wasn't necessarily specific to this session, but like kind of this lingering narrative of like the Iggett and her crew also being around somewhere on top of like encountering maybe like the rejected members of that party. I think has also kind of helped like with the build up of this
Pacing,
presumably
right?
final encounter. Yeah, so I think that's felt pretty cool too. And yeah, like even though it had been like a month, it took a little bit for me to feel like I was back up to speed with how or where we were at. But honestly, like we got into it relatively quickly, and I felt pretty good about it. So
Awesome. Robert, you got any no lows, Stu?
I mean, I feel like I've already given Robert enough of a hard time about the choice, so no, we'll leave that one alone. Any further, at least.
In some
We
ways,
are-
it's nice to have a button pusher
Oh
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Go ahead, Robert.
I
No, sorry.
don't actually care that much. No, I was just saying I don't really actually harbor hard feelings. It's always fun to lean in and make fun of that kind of thing when it happens.
Yeah.
We are a pearl richer. At least I am.
It's not even the big one.
The big one actually crumbles if you try to get it.
Oh, okay.
You see, my thinking was bad stuff will happen if you go for the big one, but if you go for the little stuff, they're just little trinkets essentially, and nothing's going to happen.
The first roll that you made when you hit it with your spear was to see if you hit one of the gems that were adorning the statue, and you didn't because you made it successful, right? So that's why it didn't do anything. But then when you tried to actually pry it out, it did. Go ahead, Robert. You got any highs and lows or any commentary on the system or the session?
Well, I enjoyed the temple shenanigans, so that was fun. I was a little concerned that we're going to perish there. That would be kind of an interesting change of events. Where do we go from there if that was what happened? But yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed that. The only thing I'd say is a low is make sure you know how to read your PDFs, man.
No kidding. That is the low. I would have to say that's. Oh, I would say it's a low, but it's like once you do, it's like when your dog runs off. You're not mad at it when it comes back. You're just glad that you figured it out or glad that it came back. That's how I felt about it. I was like, oh, I can't believe it. But that is, I mean, that's actually kind of sad that happened. And I couldn't figure it out. So I feel like just trying, obviously we played this once a month pretty much since August, right? August, September, October, November. That's exactly what we've done. And it's kind of hard maybe to string that all along to me, because I mean, I'm used to trying to play at least once a week, or I'm like, it's not even worth it. But I feel like this adventure is very, very atmospheric, and it definitely feels sword and sorcery or OSR, if you're going to use that terminology. So I really like it. I think it might be something that if you really pushed it, you could have done in a single session or 2 sessions maybe, as opposed to the way that we did it. I don't know. I was considering adding something in the cave where we found Reinhard, but then I was like, I think it's enough to have the big open caves that are inside that are inhabited by the sculps or the sea vultures. I feel like that was enough, and it really kind of does feel, like I say, definitely a sword and sorcery type feel, not a high fantasy feel. Yes, it has this temple that's got some crazy shit going on, but it's very localized to that, it's not pervasive over the whole thing. So
yeah,
I like
and
that.
I mean, Gox, the reveal of Gox coming up out of the water. I mean, it's way more Lovecraftian than it is high fantasy, right? Like it's.
Especially when you find out that it's just a dead giant squid, that the electricity and the water makes it flop around for a while, and then it just sinks back down. It once was a giant squid, and then they put it in this 100-foot deep pool, basically thinking that that's what was creating the magical healing, but really is just the mix of all of these things coming together. So pretty interesting. The whole concept of people being too greedy and then having greed be something that would actually hurt you in the end, in the session, it kind of tells a nice fable or tale, right, with a moral at the end. So I was pretty happy with that. Robert, did you have any? That was it. You gave all your highs and lows, right?
Yep.
I feel like I need to reread, and I'm super excited that I think that it's almost finished. and I'm gonna. Steve's gonna send me a book once it is. I didn't want to spend another $30 on printing off the stuff, and I'm so lazy. It's hard for me to figure out what pages. My whole plan was to change out the pages, but we've only played once a month, really, so far. Hopefully, we can get that going more often. I was super glad to get into a session tonight. It was really cool having a bunch of the old Gamerhood standbys cruise through, like old Golden Hen and Swanson and John Davis, Rod Garcia, and Brian in the Bunker made an appearance. So I thank everybody for doing that, and hopefully you keep on doing it. And anybody who's watching this later, yeah, put in the comments, give us a thumbs up and a like, give us a sub or a follow, and really hoping to try to do things on every Sunday. I've been saying that for a couple months, but I have some people lined up for interviews, and we have some games that we've been doing. So every Wednesday, and then hopefully on Sundays as well. I'll take a minute to say, if anyone's watching this, that one of the longtime players in the Gamerhood, Aaron Coleman, he played Baggio Gar in the Kalmata sessions, passed away on Thanksgiving. Surrounded by his friends and family, a long battle with cancer. So if anyone has anything that they want to do, you can find maybe on Facebook, or maybe I'll try to put a link in the I don't know what you call it, show notes or whatever, to that. Other than that, I'm collecting written or voice messages to play on Random Screed. So yeah, I want to just thank all the support that you guys have all given. You guys playing, as I always say, to me, you can't have a game without players. Obviously, a lot of people are doing solo stuff now, but and there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't think it's the same as something like this. Anyone else got anything else, or can we wrap this up?
Thanks.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Thank you.
All right, so thanks everybody. Let's head out to the dulcet tones of T.J. Drennan.
It's a beautiful day in the Gamerhood, a beautiful day for my gamers. Would you be one? Could you be one? Out of that plunder, but don't despair. This colony's breeding great robbers. Would you be one? Could you be one? If the 80% mortality rate